All right, news alert. Look at this. The Supreme Court delivering a win to President Trump on the travel order. The president tweeting this response earlier this morning, I believe. Very grateful for the 9-0 decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. We must keep America safe. The court will hear a full review of the order in October. Joining me now, Ken Paxton, Texas Attorney General. Sir, Mr. Attorney General, this is a win for President Trump. I think that, and I think you probably agree with me. But there's a carve-out here. I think there's going to be endless litigation from anybody who wants to come to America and who can say, I've got a relationship with America. Endless litigation. What say you?
Well, first of all, good morning from Texas.
Good morning.
I agree with you. First of all, that it is a win. 9-0 is pretty nice. It's a nice turnaround. But you're right. I think it's a little nebulous. I think it results in litigation all over the country. So it'd be very nice to have that resolved in October, clarified better, so that we don't end up in endless litigation, which we've already had, obviously.
But we are going to get that. I mean, I don't see any way around this. I'm sure they're running to the courts already. They wanted to come to America. Just prove you've got any kind of relationship and go to court to prove it. And there'll be some kind of taxpayer deal where we have to fund that litigation. I'll guarantee it.
Well, there's no doubt about it, and I think the three justices that wrote a concurring opinion, Thomas, mentioned this very issue. He said, look, this is going to result in exactly what you're talking about, which is endless litigation, and who knows how that turns out. So, you know, the court either resolves that now and gives a better, more clear guidance, or they're going to end up having to decide it later.
I want to refer to something that occurred on this program earlier. Our own Judge Napolitano, talking about former Attorney General Loretta Lynch, says she could be in serious trouble for keeping a lid on Hillary's investigation. Roll tape. You say Loretta Lynch could face time in prison?
Well, of course, if she obstructed justice or committed misconduct in office.
Well, Mr. Paxton, you are the top law guy in the state of Texas. What say you to what our own judge just said?
Well, I agree with them. There's already questions around how she handled the investigation, changing it from an investigation to matters, or at least suggesting that to Comey. She also obviously was involved with meeting with the president's husband, or I mean with President Clinton. And so if there are emails that suggest that she was doing inappropriate things, obstructing an investigation, I think clearly Congress is involved in investigating, obviously, the Trump administration on Russia. This, to me, rises to at least that level and probably higher. Okay.
You say that you are confident that you will win in a lawsuit filed by sanctuary cities because of your new law in Texas against outlawing sanctuary cities. You're going to win this one?
I think we are. A couple of reasons. One is this is all about public safety. I mean, we're talking about illegals who are criminals who have been arrested or who are lawfully detained and are being investigated. So we're not talking about the cream of the crop here. We're talking about people that are here illegally and that have committed a crime or are likely to have committed a crime. Second of all, we've already had this litigation in Arizona. Almost the exact same issue. The Arizona legislature passed a law that allowed, not just allowed, but required that law enforcement ask about immigration status. In this case, all we're doing is saying to elected officials, you cannot stop law enforcement from asking about immigration status. So if that case went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court from Arizona and was successful, we think ours will be as well.
Okay, Mr. Paxton, thanks for joining us, as always. We appreciate you coming on the show, giving the other side of the coin. We like it. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Have a great day.